the Roland, oh, it's gonna make a funky sound. I'm sorry, hold on. I don't know why it does that, but. Ew, okay. So then it has to like recognize that it's there. So at first this little yellow dot, it was yellow at first. Now it's green. And so basically, you know, it's a regular keyboard, right? And it also has like drums, it has little features and like kind of weird. I don't know. So basically, you can have different loop mixes. So can I get your pick a loop mix off this list? Trance? Okay. Wow, you're so easy. Okay, so then you're gonna have this, and then it should play. I don't know why it's not doing it. There's your loop mix, and then we can put some drums. I don't like it. That's kind of weird to me, but that's what it is basically. But you have like other things where you can put it like forever, like repeat for 10. And because it is music, they have for sound like you can change the tempo. And I don't know, you said you're art, right? But are you like music art or like?
I dabble in a lot of art.
Okay, so well, there's like you can play for like certain beats and like play like pop sound. It's basically so. Scratch with the extension of this, but it doesn't work right. I don't know. So yes, there is my thing. Does that make sense?
Okay.
I don't know.
You're
That
running,
makes
by the
sense.
way, the drum major for the Killeen High School Band this year, so
Yes.
that's a very high level achievement also. Are you done?
Yes.
Okay. So anyway, the bottom line is, as I said, some of you, have any of you had your hands on a Raspberry Pi? Okay. The desktop, okay. The way everything goes in life, it comes out very sophisticated by the intelligentsia. And then the rest of the world wants to pick up on it, so they start bringing it down. So the Raspberry Pi, when it first came out, it was Raspberry Pi 3, I think 3 plus, did not have, everything was text-based. Okay? But the bottom line, most people like a desktop. So now last 2 or 3 years, they've come out with a desktop. So now you have a desktop on there. So everything in the background you can bring up text-wise if you really want to, like a computer program, or you can use a desktop. So if you wanted to go into the modem, for example, or the Wi-Fi, if you want to go into anything, it's all in the desktop. So with the desktop comes the ability, free, comes with the software. Scratch program that comes in there, I can't, C+ does it, I think some Python does it. You have a lot of things under the desktop that you want to look at. It's well worth looking at the menu as you go down to see what's in there. Okay. You also have your ability to get on the internet, your browser, which they didn't have before. Before you'd have to use a dongle. You plug something in for Wi-Fi. You plug it in for this. You plug it, pretty soon you've got all your USB ports full. First we had 2, now we've got 4. So they went to the desktop and your software people would put it all in for you. So anyway, these other ones are notebooks. So again, notebooks are little computers, baby computers, so they do a lot of things. So they only run around $60. Roy, isn't that right? How much were the notebooks? Last year at Christmas time, I think they were $60.
$79.
Yeah. So you can get into it very, very cheaply, and they're very powerful. They'll do almost everything that we're talking about. They just won't have the speed, they won't have the storage capacity, but you can add on hard drives and so on. So the girls are using these. Then the other world that we've moved into, like it or not, is the smart systems. Whether they're smartphones, tablets. So again, they're all learning to use the tablets. And generally speaking, any project we do, let's say astronomy project, when we look at the stars, for example, on our telescope, everybody can see it on a tablet or a smartphone. who run the telescope with a smartphone. Then they look at it on a tablet, so it's no longer the way they do it here or somewhere in class, where you look at the telescope, the next guy comes up, and then the next guy comes up, and so on. Plus, if you look at on our website, you'll see the last time that we did Observe the Moon Night, which we'll be doing the last Saturday in October, is International Observe the Moon Night around the world. You'll see Sabrina there running a whole system, setting up the whole system with the telescope. We have 4 members of her team doing it. And you can watch what we do in your house. We've actually given classes from Killeen to 167 schools through Texas and Oklahoma that have signed on to our program, whatever it might be. And I don't have to leave my house. So we don't have to always get in the car and drive to class anymore. They call that distance learning. I started that in 1970 when I was down in Panama for 5 years teaching. So it's been around a long time. That's what we're trying to teach the young people. For example, this right now, Gloria's taping, and they'll be on our YouTube tomorrow. So somebody didn't want to come here, and a conflict, or just didn't want to come. Somebody say you should have seen it, like you tell somebody, it will be on YouTube. Okay, so everything we do is on YouTube. For example, the laptop, how to put that together, was done by one of our engineering students up in Dallas now. The reason he just came back from an internship in Egypt, okay, and he played with 2 symphony orchestras. He started with us when he was in middle school. He plays a beautiful violin, and with us, prior to going into engineering school, he was here. He 3D printed a violin. So we teach 3D printing too, which is, again, relatively complex. Doctors are using it now to print all kinds of stuff. A lot of people are using it to print. So within our framework, we teach 3D printing, and what we're trying to do is marry everything together. So I start off the pie top there. He put those 3 pie tops together. They come as a kit. So we buy kits, and then the young people put them together. The Boy Scouts are usually get a badge for it, robotics, or whatever it is, computers, astronomy, and so on. So he put that together, and he's had over, I think it's 180,000 views on YouTube. So that's something people want. We put them on YouTube, and YouTube kind of tells us what the world wants. If we put something on YouTube, like 3D printing violin, he put up there, and he only got like, I think 400 views. But when we get 200,000 or 300,000 views, then we know that we're on the right track with what we should be teaching the young ones. Right? We still will teach them violin, we'll still teach them the 3D printed violin if that's their interest, and it may be their interest. As I said, this boy, that was his interest. He wants to be an engineer, but he loves his violin actually more than he loves engineering. So anyway, because of that, he's at a good engineering school in Dallas, and he just got an internship to go over to India for an internship all summer long to teach 3D printing. And basically all, in my opinion, because he started with us. Even CTC here, as far as I know, anybody here from CTC before? No students. If I remember right, this catalog for this year, which is now half over, I don't remember a course in DC electronics related to microcomputers. I don't think there was one course there. So, and in electronics, from the standpoint of what we're trying to teach, we grew up in a world of 110 volts. Army cars, I was in the Army 34 years, Jones began 24 volts, automobiles are 12. So now, a lot of things you do, you can plug in a cigarette lighter, there's 12 volts. But then we started to come down. To make computers safe, are you any familiar with the LiPo batteries? Very unsafe. And we're selling them by the hundreds in Toys R Us. Okay? They're made out of plastic, Scotch tape, a little bit of cardboard. Okay? They blow up, they explode. You can't handle them the way you have a regular battery. You've got to charge it different. You've got to know how much charge it's got. And you've got to balance the cells. Stuff that's done automatically for us in the past. But for the young people growing up, it's not going to be automatic. Okay. called lipo battery, lithium palladium. All the other batteries are relatively safe. So almost all of the drones, the advantage is they're very powerful, very lightweight. So almost every drone that you see, other than the expensive ones, where the company put a lot of money into the battery, show them these batteries. She hadn't charged them. This is one of the better ones. It's metal enclosure, but most of them are not. They have just like Scotch tape around it. And they said they're very powerful, very small, and very lightweight, and relatively cheap. So most of the drones we'll have here tomorrow will have they won't be as nice as this. So again, if you're going to buy stuff, look at it very close and make sure it's safe for your kids, because obviously they're not safe. You have to charge them. You have a charging case.
It's right there.
Whoop. You have to buy certain special cases to charge them. So before we moved in here, I taught some children, young ones, first thing is safety and security. You don't do anything unless you keep it safe and secure. I almost tripped over wires here, right? So anyway, any of these kind of batteries have to be in an explosion-proof case when you charge it. When you charge it, you don't leave the room. So you don't charge it overnight like you do your cell phone. So again, we're moving into another whole world. We'll be going over that a little bit tomorrow. So everything we have that takes one of those kind of batteries. Now, these batteries are out in safer formats.
What do you call it?
These are again the batteries for our robots.
Over at 118.
But they're metally enclosed. If they're metal enclosed, they're probably relatively safe.
I do too.
Okay, any questions?
Are you going to
I have a
181?
question with drone related.
Talk loud.
Oh, sorry. I have a question about drones, like owning one, like is there like specific laws?
Wait, I don't hear this
I
here.
was going to head down to the left groups.
You should check out the CM stuff too. They teach you how to do like metalworking and beerworking. It's pretty awesome. Yep. Sorry.
Okay,
Apologize. Thank you.
I'm not going to say longer. Okay, go ahead.
Owning a drone, is there like specific laws you have to follow? Like
Yeah,
how far you
we'll go
fly?
over that a little bit more tomorrow. I'll bring some handouts. If you come back tomorrow, I've got some handouts. Basically, that's a good question, because everything we're talking about, it's a whole new world. So you just don't move into drones. You just don't move into robots. You can buy them at Toys R Us, but when you move into the real world, you don't. If you get a drone, the drone world by law now is defined. First of all, the airspace is defined just like ground is. You have highways, you have this belongs to me, this belongs to you, this belongs to the state, this belongs to the city, right? The highway is like that, to the moon, up to the stars, up to Mars. So it's already defined geographically and now lawfully. So commercial airplanes fly from 18,000 foot up. More or less. Okay. The drone world goes from 4 foot here to 400 foot. Then from 400 foot to 10,000 foot is where helicopters, generally speaking, and from 10,000, 18,000 is your smaller airplanes. So 18,000 above is defined as Class A airspace. Okay? So any drone, you cannot. We'll give you the basic hardcore laws. You can fly it from here to 400 feet. So you can't fly it 1 foot above 400, or you can go to jail. It's just like a pilot. And they consider you a pilot. When you buy a real hardcore drone to the United States and to the FCC and International Aircraft Card, you are considered a pilot. So you do have to study the laws. So that's the first one. The second one is hardcore. Okay. There's a lot of ifs and buts around there. because obviously you have to take off. You start at 0, you go 100 foot, 200 foot, 18,000 foot. So each thing, you cannot fly a drone within 5 miles of any airport. In Killeen, we have 5 airports, okay? In heliports, that's a heliport for a hospital. But usually they're what we call the hardcore airports, like our big airport, like Fort Hood. The biggies come in there. A little plane, if you're a farmer and you've got a strip and you've got an airplane, that classifies, but it's not within that same realm. Okay? So for us to do the type of teaching and flying we want to do, we have to go to the other side of Copper's Cove. Okay? And there's a park there where the radio people have their tower and so on. And then the Knights of Columbus over on this side is where we go to perform, and we can go there. If not, we go to Burnett, Texas, and to Lampasas for our real hard. If we want to fly from here to there. The other law is you cannot fly over people. That really limits you, right? So, but you can fly over anything that's not people, generally speaking. And not national parks. There's a lot of ifs and buts that kicked in. But the basics are 5 miles within an airport. Don't try it. You can get permission. If, let's say, they asked me one time here to check the tower for their broadcast station. Okay? So if you're within that 5 miles, you can call the tower at the airport and tell them what you want to do. More than likely, they're going to ask you, do you have a flight path? Just like the pilot.